So as I said before, two main goals today. One, how to use formulas correctly. Got to make sure we know how to do that. How to plug formulas in terms of these pieces go here, and I'm finding that. That kind of feeling. And then number two, being able to look at a word problem and know what formula we need to use. And again, being able to take the information from the word problem and putting it in the right place. Okay? So let's go ahead and have some fun here, my party people. Remember, we're also going to be going over word problems, and I'm actually going to save this for when we actually get to the word problem pieces. I'm going to ask everybody right now, just take a quick screenshot of this because we are going to come back to this. We are going to go ahead and review this very thoroughly. This is my basic strategy for any type of word problem. But right now, let's focus on the formulas first, and we'll be right back to this. So take a quick screenshot, give yourselves about 10, 15 seconds, and then we are going to the next slide here. Yeah, Alessa, yeah, that's definitely reasonable, for sure. There's literally at least 15 formulas that you could use on any given problem in the ASVAB. And so at the same time, it's like, okay, I know the formula, but how do I know that that's the width? Or how do I know that that's the area? Or how do I know that that's the perimeter if they don't tell me? So we're definitely going to be going over that. I got you. All right, so when you're ready, type ready in the chat box, and we will move forward. That should have been more than enough time. I think someone asked over here if I was doing a mix between area and perimeter. Oh, you got mixed up. Oh, guess what? You're in the program, so you're good. Tomorrow's class is going to be heavy on mixing everything together. It's going to be insane. All right, here we go. So let me go ahead and scroll over to here. Now, let's go ahead and start with our main notes. Everybody, really quick, I want to make sure that before we get into the formulas, we know what these terms really mean, okay? Because if you can imagine something, and tell me if you agree or disagree with me, if you can visualize something, is it easier to remember to you? In your personal experience, if you can visualize something, if you can put like a face to a name or a situation to a phrase, is it easier to remember for you? Right? I think it's fair to say for a lot of us. I think that's very fair to say. If I gave you a random 10-digit number, you might not remember it tomorrow. But if I said, hey, 567-698-8867, if you text me, I'm Coach Anderson. If you text me tomorrow at 7 a.m., I will give you X, Y, and Z for free. Then you'll be like, oh, that's important, right? And you'll be a little more excited to actually do or remember said thing. Same thing here. Let's talk about it. Area and perimeter, starting off with perimeter. Everybody, in general, the perimeter of a shape, how would you describe it? How would you categorize it? What is perimeter to you? Max? There you go. Max coming in hot already, saying the distance around the shape. Then we have Indy coming in, distance around the edges, the sides, the points, the hole, the outside, add up all the sides, add up all. Okay, so you guys are all pretty much saying the same thing. So the idea here is the perimeter of any shape at all, is the distance around a shape. Let's write that down here. The distance around a shape. Okay, please go ahead and write that down. I know my handwriting is not the best, but go ahead. So the distance around a shape. Now, a nice way to remember this, really, for me, it's anytime I've watched an action movie, wherever you have, some mercenary squad coming in, and they always say the same line, secure the perimeter. Who here has heard that phrase said in the movie? Secure the perimeter. Right? I think a lot of us have watched action movies growing up. Exactly. Even in Marvel movies, secure the perimeter, man, every single time. And when you think about that, I think about some sort of structure, building, house, or whatever. And securing the perimeter means securing the outside. Perimeter, outside. The distance around the shape. Secure the surrounding space. So if that helps you out, just kind of walk through that in your head real quick. Secure the perimeter. Secure the outside. And just kind of walk yourself through that. Because it's not always about just taking notes, memorizing, regurgitating. It's really about visualizing and incorporating it into your mental understanding. So if you want to take a second to do that, bam, great. Now let's go into area here. Everybody, the area of any shape, how would you categorize that? How would you describe that? Just like we did with distance around the shape for perimeter, how would you talk about the area of a shape? And no, Taylor, you cannot use the word area in the definition of area. Can't use the word area to describe area. Let's try something else here. Nope, not a formula, not length times width times height. Nope. Vivi, I love that. Vivi, I love that. Angelica, I love that. Whitney, I love it. Yep. India, I love that inside. Yep. Max, space inside of the shape. Exactly. Exactly. So I'm not looking for a formula here, guys. I'm simply looking for a description. Because remember, we're going to start with a description. Then we're going to move into the formula to show you how that works. The area of a shape, I would say that it's the space inside of a shape. The space inside the shape. And I'm going to be specific here. I'm going to call this 2D, two-dimensional, flat shapes, squares, rectangles, triangles, parallelograms, trapezoids, pentagons, not 3D shape like boxes and pyramids. No, we're just talking about 2D shapes, the space covered on the surface of a 2D shape. And now, this is going to come into fruition or come into light in a few slides here when we start talking about the formulas. But lastly, over here, a square sides. Everybody, what's particular about the sides of a square? Right. All the sides of a square are equal. And just to show an example of what a square looks like for my party people who don't know, right here, a square, all the sides would be the same. If that's 3, that'll be 3, that'll be 3, and that will be 3. Just giving a brief little example of what a square looks like, but a very important fact that needs to be known about squares: 4 equal sides. Now, I'm sure a lot of us here may have heard these phrases before, seen this before, but now it's time to take this main understanding and start turning it into, well, 1, an understanding of the formulas, and 2, practice. So again, if you feel like you already know this and you start trying to check out mentally, even though you're not trying to, rein yourself back in, because your ability to really, truly understand these basic facts front to back, your ability to understand this spells success way down the road. So if you don't know this like the back of your hand, you better know it. Absolutely, Vivi. Absolutely, Vivi. So here we go. Let's talk about these formulas here. Let's go ahead and start off with a square. So what we're going to do here is we're going to write down these formulas, and you need to make sure you have these in a very, very, very visible spot. If you need to rip a page out of your notebook and have it right there on the side, or write it at the top of your page, probably the better way to do it. Make sure that you have these formulas visible, starting with the area and perimeter of a square. So after we take these notes down for here for the square, I'm going to explain why these formulas are the way they are. Okay? I'm going to explain why. So perimeter, that says that the perimeter of a square is 4 times the side. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and use a highlighter here to go ahead and highlight what we're talking. So the perimeter here of a square, again, 4 times the side. If we're talking about the area of a square, it says we're going ahead and doing the side times side, which again, everybody, want to make sure we know this. Multiplying the side times the side is the same thing as saying side squared. Remember, everybody, when you have an exponent of 2, that just means multiply that same number by itself. So if I'm saying side squared, same thing as just saying side times side. I'm going to use those interchangeably today. Just pay attention. Just pay attention. You're good. But I'm going to use those two ways of looking at it interchangeably throughout the class. So don't freak out if you see it one way and not your preferred way. I would prefer that you know both ways. And that's exactly why I'm going to go both ways. So there's that. Let me go ahead and explain why these formulas are the way they are. Okay? This is going to really help us out, especially before we go into rectangles and we go into triangles up next. So let's talk about perimeter here. So right here, Everybody here. So if we're looking at a square, let's go ahead and say that this square has a side length of 3. Okay? Let's say it has a side length of 3. Everybody, true or false? Pop quiz. If that bottom side is 3, is it true that all of these are going to be 3? Okay, sounds good. And so if I'm trying to find the perimeter, everybody, is it true that if I'm trying to find the perimeter, I mean, for any shape, it's just adding up all the sides, right? So I could technically add the 3, 3, 3, and 3. I could. And it's okay if you need to take a second to think about it. I'm not trying to trick anybody. I'm just asking straightforward questions. If we're taking the perimeter, which means the distance all the way around the shape, I could add up all the sides. And the answer to that is going to be true. It is true. That is a yes. Let me just show you. Right here. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That's going to be what? What's that going to be, everybody? Help me out. Right? That's going to be 12. I think we can all do that math in our heads. That's not terrible. I think we're good. That's going to be 12. But here's where a lot of folks might get confused. A lot of people early on, when they're refreshing on this or learning this for the first time, they may be looking at this and they may say, hey, coach, the formula says 4 times the side. Why is it that I can add up all the sides and just get it done anyway? Well, my answer to you is that they're the same thing. Think about it like this. If I'm adding the same number by itself 4 times, that is literally the same thing as multiplying the number by 4. Multiply or multiples means that you're counting a certain number of a number. So if I'm doing 4 times 3, that just means I have 4 of these 3s that I'm adding up. To prove it to you, nice and easy. Everybody, let's use the formula. The formula tells me right here, let me just use this box. This box right here, let me go ahead and just take that out of the way. Super easy. Whoops. Right here, the formula specifically says 4 times the side. I am not tricking anybody. There it is. Can't miss it, right? So the side that we were given was 3. Watch this, everybody. 4 times 3. Everybody, what is 4 times 3? Help me out. Right. That's 12. You guys blew up in the chat box. You were ready to pounce on that. And yeah, that's true. And so, yes, both of these would work because they're talking about the same main idea, the distance around the shape. You can call it 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or you can say there are 4 sides, all of them 3 whatever long. So 4 times 3 is 12. And that's why I prefer that you use the formula, because you're not trying to add 4 numbers, but instead just multiplying once. Yes or no? Do we understand the perimeter formula for a square now? Exactly. 12 is the same, Indy. Exactly. Good. I'm glad you guys feel good about that. Yeah, exactly. Because adding a number 4 times by itself is the exact same as multiplying it by 4. Same exact thing. So now let's get into area. And then from there, we're going to speed it up just a little bit. But I want to really get into area. Area is another one where people often get confused in terms of, coach, when am I adding? When am I multiplying? How do I know which formula does what? How can I remember this? Well, here's the thing. Well, there's a few different ways I can explain it, but I'm going to go with this method today for the first time. I'm going to try this method out with y'all. Let me go ahead and split this up right over here. And let me actually make this a little more even. Something like that, right? Then let me duplicate this one. Let me go ahead, turn that horizontally if Jesus will let me. All right, cool. And so we can put that right over there. Trying to make this as delicate as possible here, as descriptive as possible. Okay, cool. So we have our square, right? I just split it up into a little grid. Everybody remind me, in the chat box, pop quiz, what was that description that we gave for the area of a shape? Not the formula. Don't tell me the formula. It's right there. But what did I say was the description of the area of a shape? What did I say? Type it out, please. The space inside of the shape. Angelica, thank you. Everybody, please follow suit. Type it out. The shape, the space inside of a shape. Right, the space inside of a shape. So let's go ahead and take a second here and really think about this in a very simplistic way. Everybody, yes or no? Are you cool if I, instead of using the number 3, I just said 3 is the same thing as having 1, 1, and 1? Is that true? Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm just setting up for success here. And so let me just show you this. I think you're really going to enjoy this, and it's really going to make a lot more sense in terms of why this works. So let's call that 1 block, 1 block, 1 block, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, quick question, everybody. How many total blocks do you see inside of the square? How many total blocks? Let me just erase these here. How many total blocks do you see inside of the square? How many? Inside of it, not around it. Inside. Right, we see 9. We see 9. And guess what, everybody? Look, just check it out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 units inside, covered by that square. Well, guess what, everybody? Quick question. The formula says side times side, or side squared. So we have 3 and 3. Everybody, what's 3 times 3? Ah, 9. That's not a coincidence. That's not a coincidence at all. While perimeter takes you around the shape, again, the area tells you how much space the shape covers. And basically, to do that, you want to think about it like a grid. If you have a 3 by 3, well, you're going to have 9 total squares inside, or 9 total units inside. And that's how we get there. The shortcut, instead of actually drawing out these grids and numbering them 1 through 9, it's just going to be to multiply this side by this side. Since both sides are the same, side times side. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much sense does that make for you so far? Didn't know if 15 was possible? Sounds good. Okay, great. Again, remember, everybody, your success today is predicated on your ability to maintain knowledge of the basics. You cannot get to step 3 if you forget step 1 every time you sit down to study. So we have to make sure we get these basics down. Once we get to the word problems, you're going to thank me, I promise you. So there it is. One last chance to take a screenshot here for the perimeter and area of a square. The perimeter is 4 times the side, and also the area is either side squared or side times side, whichever way you want to say it. We are going to be looking at problems that work forward and backwards, so get ready for those. Those will be fun because we're going to learn how to really break through those really annoying problems if you were by yourself. Oh, hell yeah, Seth. We are. All right, so hopefully that is enough time to get a nice little screenshot. Edward, I hear you. So let's go ahead now and make our way over to rectangles. I'm going to keep square in the picture, but let's take a look here at rectangles up top. So again, let's just start off. Let's get these formulas down. And let me actually write the perimeter formula a little more clearly for you. So let me write that down right over here. So for a rectangle, the perimeter will be 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. That is what you see above right here. Just repeat it there. All right. Now, again, just like we did with squares, let's just visualize and see what the heck, P equals 2L plus 2W. Okay, coach, I've known that my whole life, but how do I use it? Well, if you want to know how to use it, you have to see and visualize and understand how it works. So let's go and start there. No worries, Vivi. Let's go and start off here then. So let me go ahead and draw a rectangle for you. I'm going to come up just a little bit here, and I'll draw a rectangle right here. Okay. So everybody, a rectangle, it's not going to have all the same sides. A rectangle, as you can tell, it might be longer than it is wide, or wider than it is long. It could be a square too, because a square is a rectangle. It's just a special version of it where the sides are the same. But most cases of rectangles, they're not the same. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call this the length. And everybody, for a rectangle, if the top of the rectangle we call the length, what else can we call the length? The bottom, right? We can also call the bottom the length. I want to make sure that you understand that the opposite sides of a rectangle are the same. So if the top over here is a length, then the bottom is also the length. And likewise, if we have this over here, let's say on the left side being the width, then, hey, where else can we label the width? Right, on the right side, exactly. And so we can go ahead and happily duplicate that over here, and we can call that the width. So my party people, if you want to know where that formula comes from, look no further. First of all, my question is this, everybody. Please, in the chat box, would you mind reminding me, because you know me, I have bad memory. What did I say was the main idea for perimeter of a shape? What's the main idea for the perimeter of a shape? What's the general definition? Not the formula, just the general definition. Yeah, the distance around a shape. And so that means you're adding up all the sides, right? And if we take a look here at our little shape, let's just visualize this for a moment, everybody. Let's go around. Let's play ring around the circle here. So we have a length here, a width here, a length here, and a width there. So if we add everything up, we're just basically going around, and we see that we're adding length, width, length, width. Quick question, everybody. How many lengths are being added up? 2, right? If we're doing the perimeter, if we're talking perimeter, we got 2 of the lengths being added up, and then 2 of what else being added up? Right, 2 widths being added up. So let's just really visualize this. Like I said, we have twice of the length, and we're going to add that with twice or double of the width. So we have 2 lengths and 2 widths together makes up the whole rectangle. Let's check out that formula and see if it doesn't make a little more sense now. The formula for perimeter here, twice the length plus twice the width. We can also see it right here. But everybody, does that give you a little more relief knowing that the formula actually makes sense? It's literally lined up in the shortest way that it can. Cool. Again, we got to take our time here going through these little nooks and crannies, because I promise you, once we get into those challenge questions that before you would have been like, Coach, this is impossible, we'll have the opportunity to look at these problems and say, hey, oh, yes, it does make sense because we need to stick to the facts. And we'll see those slowly but surely. So there is another way to look at the formula for perimeter, and it is like this. If you wanted to, and you don't have to remember this for now, we'll bring it back later on. You don't have to remember this, but we can go ahead and just take the length and the width added together and then multiply by 2. So you could do double the length and double the width added together, or you could just add the length and the width and then double it. You'll literally get the same thing. And so I do want to take a moment to show you the proof behind it. I would like to. That way we can move on with peace. So let me show you an example here of another rectangle, and we'll just work it out so I can just prove it to you so you can feel good about it. So here's a rectangle, everybody. And let's say that this rectangle is, 4 units long and 3 units wide. So here's my length and here's my width. Let's go ahead and work on this one real quick, just the perimeter. Everybody, we can go ahead and do it a couple different ways. One, we can straight up just add everything up. So let's just go ahead and do it straight up. 3, like if I'm going around, 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. Let's just show that real quick. Add that up for me, everybody. What do we get? If we just do 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, what do we get? So be careful here, guys. Only do 1 lap. If you do more than 1 lap, you might get a little more than 14, right? But if we do 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4, that's 7. Plus 3 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. So yeah, the perimeter here would be 14. Let's go ahead and do it another way here. Let's try this with orange. Let's use the formula that we were given. The formula being 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Everybody, tell me, what's the length again? What did I give you for the length? Right, I gave you 4. I told you right here, there's my length, and here's my width. So if I do 2 times 4, and then double the width, 2 times 3. Help me out, everybody. What's 2 times 4? That's going to be 8, exactly. And what's 2 times 3? What's that going to be? That's going to be 6. Exactly. So here we have 8 plus 6, and 8 plus 6 might not be an easy question, but what's 8 plus 6? Right, that's going to be 14. So yes or no, do you agree that we can add up all the sides or use the formula? Right, same exact number. It's the same exact number. It is the perimeter. It is what you get if you were to add up all the sides. And so lastly, I want to show you this last little way to do it. That way, when we get into these backwards word problems, I can show you some shortcuts that you're really going to like. So let me show you in green here. Here's another way to use it. Another way is, and if you know about factoring, if you've been practicing polynomials and combining like terms and distribution and all that, this is going to be very understandable to you. If it's not, again, don't sweat it. This is just for my advanced folks who want to get word problems done faster. Here's a different formula you can think about. For perimeter of a rectangle, and again, let me make sure I write this here. Rectangle, we have 2 times the length plus the width. And all I'm saying is this, everybody. Think about it. We have the length and the width, and we can literally double it. So we can add the length and the width, and then we can double it because we have another pair right there that's the exact same thing. That's all I'm saying here when it comes to the perimeter. You can go ahead and just add the length and the width, double it, and that'll give you the perimeter. Because with the length and the width being added together, that's 2 of the 4 sides. Then when you double it, you get the other 2 sides. So let's see if that's true. Let's see if that actually works. Everybody, let's plug it in. Perimeter equals 2 times. Everybody, the length was what again? Help me out. No, not length times width, Seth. Length plus width times 2. Again, that's for perimeter here, 2 different ideas. But here, that would be 4. And then what was my width, everybody? Yeah, it's going to be 3, exactly. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Everybody, 4 plus 3, if we're working with a parentheses first, obviously, that'll be what? That'll be 7. So we have 2 times 7. What's 2 times 7, everybody? And that'll be 14. And that'll be 14. So notice how either way, any way we do it, it will work. Any way that we do it. Because again, we're basing it off of the same main idea. Add up all the sides for perimeter, and there are formulas that help us just do it faster in a little more of an organized way. So how many of these formulas did you understand in terms of the, okay, just add up all the sides. Okay, just use the 2L plus 2W. And then this last one, we just add the length and the width and double it. 1, 2, or all 3. And again, that was all for perimeter. Just different ways to think about it. That's it. Right on. Good to hear. Perfect. So just like with the area for a square, area of a rectangle, same idea. Just multiply this side and this side. In a square, those sides were the same, so it looks different. It looks like it's side squared or side times side. But with a rectangle, those sides are not the same. We call them a length and a width, and that's why you're going to see over here length times width. The area, same, just going to be length times width, just like that. And it truly does work the same exact way in terms of the explanation that I gave. You know, you asked me, hey, coach, why do we multiply for area? It's because you're essentially making a grid and you're counting the pieces inside of the shape. How many pieces make up the shape on the inside? Check this out here. If I go ahead and split this up, let's go ahead and split this down the middle. And then 1 and 2 right here. So all I'm doing here, everybody, is this. All I'm doing is, look, if this is a length of 4 right there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and easy. And then what I'll do, I'm going to mark off 3 over here. So I'll just go ahead and mark this off. 1, it's a little off right there, and then 2 and 3 right there. All right, cool. So if we were to go ahead and count how many pieces there are inside, everybody, just watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And everybody, the formula says multiply the length and the width together. Everybody, quick question. What's 4 times 3? 12. Yeah. And again, that's all the area tells you. The area tells you, hey, how much space is enclosed inside the shape? And basically, how many blocks? How many 1 by 1 blocks are in there? That's it. And that's seriously it. Area is a lot simpler than perimeter. I can, in terms of the formula, totally agree with you there. The formula for area is a lot easier to remember than perimeter. But I want to make sure, again, you can visualize what you're using. You know why area and perimeter, one adds, one multiplies. What's the difference? That's the difference. Area is a two-dimensional idea, like feet squared, inches squared, centimeters squared. And that's because you're multiplying a dimension by a dimension, so you have the dimension squared. And we'll talk more about those units in a bit. But there's that. Let me go and zoom on out a little bit. And we are going to get into, lastly, for triangles. Super straightforward. For triangles, since you have so many different types of triangles, if they ask you for the perimeter of a triangle, you're just adding up all the sides. It's that straightforward. There's no formula to it. Just add up all the sides. Side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, and you're done. So that one's pretty easy. And that's why it's behind me, and that's why my big old head's in the way. But the area, a little different. It's a little different. The area for a triangle, notice how you're still multiplying two sides together, but notice this little thing right there that's half. I want to show you something, everybody. Let's go ahead and show you why a triangle has that half right there. Has anybody ever wondered that? Yes or no? Has anybody here ever wondered why a triangle has 1/2 in the formula for the area? It's actually a very sincere answer. It's a very sweet, short, sincere answer. I think I saw some people ask questions there. If you could re-ask those questions, I think I may have missed it, but I will answer your questions. I got you. For example, everybody, just take a look here. Let's show this rectangle, but actually, instead of showing a rectangle, we want to show a triangle, right? So let's go ahead and cut that right there. So if this is your base and that's your height, everybody, if we didn't cut that in half, what would we be looking at in terms of like what formula we're looking at if we just multiplied the base and the height together? What shape would we be actually finding the area of? Right, we would actually be finding length times width, or the area of a rectangle, right? We would actually be doing that. But if we put that line back in to cut it in half, that's why the formula for the area of a triangle is half of the base of a height, base times the height, because a triangle is half of a rectangle in terms of the space that it covers. Exactly, Angelica. We would be looking for half of the rectangle. Yeah, for sure. Declan, what's up? Because we are at the end of just going over the formulas, because now we're about to get straight up into practice, and we are going to have a whole hour and change to really get into it. So it's going to be a really good time. Let me see if I'm missing anybody's question here. I think I saw some questions back there. Annalisa, to answer your question about the lines and the boxes, the length and the width gave it away. So the 4, I drew the lines to make 4 spaces. And then for the 3, for the width, I drew the line to make 3 little spaces. Raymond, correct. When you're trying to find the area, you're always multiplying. Area always multiplies the dimensions together. Exactly. So let me go ahead and get over here and see these other questions here. No worries. I'm glad I could explain it. Declan might be rather dumb to ask this, but could you do length times width and divide that by 2? Yeah, for sure. There's 2 ways to really look at it. So actually, Declan, no, thank you for asking, because I want to actually portray it this way too. So if this doesn't make you comfortable, just know that the area of a triangle, this is also the same thing. If you do the base times the height, all of it over 2, that is the same exact thing as doing 1/2 of the base times the height. Those are the exact same thing. Declan, was not a dumb question at all. That was a great question because I know a lot of people prefer to see it this way. So you're good. Raymond, so whenever you are trying to find area, you are just multiplying. That is correct. That's right, Raymond. Dominic, so you can do it just like a rectangle and then divide it by 2. That's correct. Cool. Hey, no worries. So let me go and zoom out. Let me go ahead and get my big old head out the way. Everybody give me one moment. Let me get my big old head out the way. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you need to, my party people. There is all of that. Take a nice little screenshot if you need to. And remember, if you are in the program, this is recorded already. This is going to be in the program for you, nice and easy. So no need to worry if you're getting nervous about trying to write down every single little thing. Those of you in the program, you're good. And when you're ready, everybody type ready in the chat box. So that way I can go ahead and ruin the screen here by putting my ugly face back in there. That's right, Vivi. We are going to rock it. Yep. All right, let's get back in here. There we go. All right, so with that said, we passed the little pre-screen here. We're done going over the formulas. So just as a reminder, for squares, the perimeter, you have 4 sides that are all the same. That's why the perimeter formula is 4 times the side. If we're talking about area, well, remember, the area is just figuring out the space inside. We always do that by multiplying the dimensions. Side times side, the vertical and the horizontal, we multiply those together, and we got the side squared, or side times side, whichever way you want to say it. So if we come over here to rectangles, we have 2 lengths, 2 widths. That's why the perimeter is 2 of the lengths plus 2 of the widths. That's exactly why it is the way it is. And just like I said with area, you are multiplying the vertical and horizontal dimensions, length times width, just like that. And then lastly, over here, for the perimeter of a triangle, again, perimeter, just add up all the sides. Since you do have so many different types of triangles, no formula. Just add all 3 sides together. That's it. And then for the area of a triangle, again, you're going to multiply the horizontal base, the vertical height. But for triangles specifically, triangles consume half the size of a rectangle. And that's why the formula is cut in half. And at least no worries. We're going to have plenty of time to get through all of these. Don't worry. I got you. So with that, let's go ahead. Are you feeling better or worse than you did before we started this class in terms of your understanding, your fundamental understanding of the formulas? Are you feeling better or worse than when we began? Cool. Great. And again, be honest. If it's a no, if it's, hey, coach, you suck. No offense. No offense taken, man. I will not be offended, man. I'm here to be the best teacher I can be, but I would need honest feedback to definitely get there, right? So with that, let's go ahead and talk about how today's class is going to work. Here's today's plan. I think you guys are going to really like this. Well, will be better if I add another half and doing the square. Oh, we'll talk about the lesson. We'll go through plenty of examples. This will definitely make more sense. I got you. So today's plan, guys. Here's the thing. My surprise today. So for those of you who were here last week, and this is mainly for those of you who are in the program, we talked about the idea that I had a month ago of what if I was able to build a program that can essentially give you an unlimited number of word problems to practice with, and you can retake the same test, getting different problems for specific topics. It is done. Yep. I called it speed drills for word problems. I have mapped everything out. All of the project is already, it's all laid out. All I got to do is execute it. We built out a prototype and also built out the entirety of geometry, area, and perimeter word problems. So here's how today is going to work. For those of you in the program, we are going to go ahead today, for everybody, go through the perimeter of squares practice, go through perimeter of rectangles, and this is going forwards and backwards. Like starting with the sides, get the perimeter. From the perimeter, work backwards to get the sides, word problems. On top of that, we have finding the area of squares. We're going to be working forward to find the area of a square, and then from the area, work backwards to get the sides. Same thing with rectangles. Starting with the sides, get the area and backwards. Area of triangles, working forwards and working backwards. Then those crazy problems that we talked about earlier today, where if I give you the area, find the perimeter. So jump all the way over the perimeter, and we're going to do that with squares. And we also have our very own unique speed drill, same deal specifically for rectangles too. So we have all of this here lined up now in the program. This is not released yet. This is going to be our brand new course in addition to everything you already have. If you're already in the program, you're getting this for free and every update that we're going to come out with every week. So who here wants to see a little sample of what I'm talking about? And if you're going to ask me if I lost sleep over the weekend doing this, I absolutely did. I got really into it. I got really excited with this. It was a lot of fun. And I really want to show you guys what's going on now. So let's go ahead and show you here. All right, great. Oh, that's going to look pretty. So let's go ahead and take a look here, my party people. Behind me is the website. And if you look all the way on the left, you're going to see that it says ASVAB Arithmetic Reasoning Math Bootcamp. Yes, brand new course coming in. I'm separating. So we have a current math bootcamp with over 350 activities. We're going to completely separate it out into 3 main courses. That way, you know exactly where to start if you're a beginner, where to start if you're ready to refresh, or if you just want to take a bunch of exams. It's all going to be easy enough to see. So this is one of the 3 that we're building out and separating it into. And what you're going to see is it's going to look something like this. Over here on the left, notice how we have perimeter of squares, perimeter of rectangles, area of squares, rectangles, blah, 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 blah. So here we're looking at perimeter of squares. Essentially, you're going to have 10 minutes to answer 5 questions. And basically, it's 2 minutes a question. And every time you retake it, again, brand new questions. Here we go. So if I click ready to start, you see your timer right here at the top right. Right there, nice and easy. And so what is the perimeter of a square that has a side length of 7 feet? Everybody help me out here. What's that answer going to be? Quick, quick, quick. What's the answer going to be? What is the perimeter of a square that has a side length of 7? What is that? What's perimeter again? 28. I think you guys are saying that it's blurry. Let me double check that for us. Is it blurry still? Still blurry, kind of. Quality of video is too low. No worries. Let me go ahead and do something real quick here. I see. Give me 2 seconds. I think I can do something better than this. Let me go ahead and stop recording for a moment here. Let me see if this gets a little better. No worries. Can you guys see it now? Is it a little better if I zoom in like this? Perfect. All right, cool. So the answer here, right, that would be 28 because perimeter is side times 4 because it's 4 sides. So we'll go and click 28, and then we'll go to the next question. Let's try this next one together, everybody. What is the side length of a square that has a perimeter of 20? Working backwards. Look at that. So if the perimeter is 20, how do you get back to the side, everybody? What are you going to get for the side? You see a lot of you guys are saying 80, right? Because you're saying, oh, yeah, times 4. Remember, everybody, look at this. You start with the perimeter. You got to work backwards back to the side. So that's going to be not 20, but it's going to be 5. Because remember, you got to ask yourself, to get to the perimeter, that's times 4. So what times 4 gives you 20? That has to be 5. You got to work backwards. You have got to divide. Look at the next question. Okay, look at this. Including names of objects. A square desk. I programmed this to give you a bunch of different names of objects, colors, names of people, places. It's all programmed in there, unlimited. So a square desk measures 220 around its border. What is the measure of one of its sides? Question, everybody. I don't see perimeter in there. What does that 220 mean? Is the 220 the length of the side? Is that the perimeter? What is that? What is that 220, everybody? That's the perimeter. Exactly. What gives it away that this is the perimeter, everybody? What gives it away? What gives away that 220 is the perimeter? Around its border. Exactly. That's what perimeter is, right? Around the shape. And that's how I'm going to train you by putting in questions like this that don't explicitly say perimeter, but hint at it, we have to be ready for that on the test. And so, yeah, if 220 is the perimeter, I'll go ahead and just put in the answer right now. It's going to be 55 because you have to work backwards, not multiply by 4, but divide by 4. And we're going to have plenty of examples like this in today's class. But let me go ahead and finish up this for you here. A square with a side length of 6 has a perimeter of what? Let me just move this here so everybody can see it. So a square with a side length of 6 has a perimeter of what? That'll end up being 24 because you have to multiply 4 sides. And then lastly, what is the side length of a square that has a perimeter of 20 feet? Okay, so if you're going backwards, because you have the perimeter, let's work backwards to the side. Yeah, we'll get 5. And look at that, nice and easy. It looks like that was plenty of time, right? 6 minutes, that seems like or 10 minutes, that seems like a short amount of time, but it's supposed to feel like a lot of time once you have enough practice. And once you're done, you click submit, and boom, it'll tell you, hey, you passed or you failed. Nice and easy. You get to take a look at your feedback report. You get to look at the exact questions that you went over. Nice and easy. Every single one, the correct answer. And a surprise that I have for you guys for the final release is that this feedback report is also going to include an automated process of a solution. So it'll give you hints. It'll tell you what you need to work on if you're struggling with it. It'll tell you basically a general way to solve it. And all you got to do is follow the plan. And you're good. So this is still not finished. There's still a lot more work to be done, but this is it. And like I said, when you're ready to retake it, you simply go right there, you click retake, and you're going to have yourself a brand new set of problems. Square with a perimeter of 8 has a side of what? A side length of a square. What is the side of a square that has a perimeter of 56? Exactly. And you're going to be able to go through this nice and easy. Perimeter of what? 8. And you keep trying over and over and over again. You do your thing until you know that you got this down. And then great, cool. Okay, cool. Got 3 out of 5 this time. Got to try again. So, will this glitch coach? No, this has actually been tested, proven, all good. We are all set. This one's been checked up and down. How do you guys feel about this? Hey, no worries. And so here's the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about in terms of after this class. So I'm releasing this on Thursday. I'm going to try to get it out faster. I need to make a welcome video and a couple of other things. But this is the other thing I wanted to show you, everybody. Look at all of this on the side. We have perimeter of squares, area, everything we talked about. Then at the end, we have this thing called area and perimeter final exam. This is something that you guys have requested. I have listened, and I'm really excited about this here. So essentially, you're going to have 20 total questions for this topic. And what you need to do is you need to get at least 15, in this case, at least 15 out of 20 right to pass. Just to pass. Just to be able to guarantee that you are good at least on this topic. And it's the same deal, except it's going to mix and match everything all together. And you have 20 minutes again, 20 questions, and you need to be as fast as possible here. And so you need to go, and you see that you have all these different questions. The area of a square, a rectangular desk, a square desk, rectangular desk. This one has a lot of desks. Window pane, a coffee table, a triangular counter, right? So there's a lot going on here. But at the same time, if you can pass this 3 times in a row, because remember, when you're done and you try again, you get brand new questions. And so the expectation here, the full expectation is if you're in the program after tonight's class, when this is released, you get right on this, going through every single one. When you can confidently pass the speed drills over and over and over again, you're good to move on. And if you feel like you're ready for the final, take that final. The feedback will tell you which questions you struggled with, and that should be your focus going back into those regular speed drills. So different scenarios, different numbers, different objects, different names, different everything, every single time you take it. So let me go ahead and bring ourselves back over here. That's something that I'm really excited about, guys, because again, at the end of the day, the practice is really what's needed to be successful here. Raymond, we'll talk about that. Raymond, text me. Those are unit conversion problems, and those are going to get made too as well, for sure. So, all right. With that said, I'm glad I could go over that with you guys. And I'm glad you guys are excited too, because I am too. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about this before we move forward? Because we're going to get into the word problems now, but any comments, concerns, or questions? All right, sounds great. So like I said before, for those of you who are in the program, this is going to be free for you. You're not paying extra. If you join the program in tonight's class, you're not going to pay extra for it either. This is, again, going to be a free update for everybody who is already in the program. Later on, prices will change, but if you come in now, you're not going to pay extra later. So just want to make sure that's very clear. No, you can't download it on the computer. I am going to be creating a printable version of these, but that's going to be a little ways away. I got to protect my property, so I got to figure out a way to do that while still protecting my my property. So with that, everybody, let's go ahead. Let's get started here. So here's how today's going to work. If you notice on top over there on the right side, it says squares perimeter. The topic name for what we're working on is always going to be present right here. Okay? It's all right there. I should write a book on my lessons. Hey, we'll see. We'll talk. But here we go, everybody. We're going to go ahead and go through these problems. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go through these together. First, 1, 2, maybe 3 of them. Then I'm going to time you and let you try a couple on your own. Then we'll move on to the next topic. We're going to go ahead, try some together. You try some on your own. Then the next one, rectangles perimeter, rectangles area. And we're going to do as many of these as we can today. In tomorrow's class, the focus is going to be doing the rest of what we didn't do, and then mixing everything together just like that final exam. Randomized questions, and we're going to keep going, and going. So let's go ahead and get to it here. Everybody, whenever we start a word problem, there's one very important step we always have to take. That step is reading the question. Not the whole problem, simply the question sentence. So everyone, here's what I mean. For those of us that are here for the first time, right here, what is its perimeter? Okay, so let me ask this question. Who here hates geometry word problems again? Give me a yes or a no. Who here hates geometry word problems? Seth, read the dang question. Okay, so for those of you that, I don't hate it anymore after this, right? But look, for those of us that are feeling some sort of way about geometry word problems, let me actually give you a really good silver lining, a really good benefit about geometry word problems. The benefit to doing geometry word problems is that 9 times out of 10, they tell you the math. They tell you specifically what formula you're talking about. Want to know what I mean? Everyone, in that blue highlight that I just made, when I read the question, what is its perimeter? What's a key word that you can point out that you would recognize any day of the week? What's a key word that you notice right there in this problem? And again, in the blue highlight, when I highlighted this in blue, right here, what is its perimeter? What word are you going to look at and say, oh, that's math? Yeah, that word is perimeter. That word is perimeter. Remember, the first thing you're always doing is reading the question. Step number 1, read the question. What do you want? And what we want is the perimeter. Okay. Now, everyone, please help me out. We all know that perimeter means the distance around a shape, secure the perimeter. We've talked about that. But my follow-up question is this. My follow-up question is, well, don't we have some different formulas for different shapes? Yeah. So your follow-up question needs to be, if I see that I'm trying to find perimeter, my next question is, well, what's the shape? Answer that for me really quick. Read the question, read the whole problem. What shape are we dealing with? And no worries, Whitney. And if you want to text me, Whitney, about that, that's good. That's fine. But for those of us here that are talking about this, yeah, the answer here is square. So again, the benefit of geometry word problems is that 9 times out of 10, they tell you the math. They give you keywords like area, perimeter, length, width, surface area, volume. They give it away. Radius, right? Diameter. They have to say those words to define certain numbers. And here, they're having you find the perimeter. And whenever you're looking at the perimeter of a shape, you got to know what shape you're dealing with. And that is a big bonus that we have. Perimeter of a square. So I know a lot of you guys said, hey, coach, I have a really big problem with knowing what formula to use. Well, guess what? You just read, I got to find the perimeter. And of what? A square. Is it a mystery in terms of which formula we need to use, everybody? Is it a mystery? No. Write the formula out for me. It's not a mystery. They tell you right here. The formula for the perimeter of a square. We're able to see that. We want the perimeter of a square. What is the formula for the perimeter of a square? Look at your notes. Take your time. Look at your notes and write it down. I don't want you to rush your answer. Don't rush it. Look at your notes that you took. And if you don't have notes taken down, that's a problem. We got to make sure we have the correct notes taken down. Right, exactly. We wrote this down. For a square, and this needs to pop up in your head. For a square, the perimeter equals 4 times the side. Right here. We have side, 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 and side. So 4 of those sides together makes up the perimeter. And so in this case, everybody, to find the perimeter, what's the one thing that we need, everybody? What's the one thing that we need to find the perimeter, everybody? Not the number. What word? What do we need to define? What do we need to define? Jonathan, my man, thank you. The side. What is the side length? What is the side? That's what we need. And if we take a look at the problem, everybody, what is the side? What is it? Side length of 6. Side length of 6. If we plug that in, perimeter equals 4 times the side, which is 6. Everybody, 4 times 6 is what? 24 feet. And that is going to be answer choice C. And that's why C is correct in this case. So let me walk you through the basic strategy again for word problems, because I know some of us were a little more focused on the actual numbers. That's cool. But if you want to be successful with word problems, I need to make sure that you understand the formula to success. So remember, step 1, read the question sentence. What is it that you want? You want to start off by just straight up, before you walk into the party, who's in there? What kind of a time are we having? Not just walking into the door and being surprised that there's a lion in the corner, right? So, hey, what do we want? We started off by doing that, and we said, hey, we want perimeter. The moment that you know that you're looking for perimeter, area, surface area, volume, whatever it is, the moment you hear those math words for geometry, there is a shape involved. So your automatic question, when you see an area or perimeter problem, what's the shape? Because the shape will tell you the formula. And that's how we were able to see square. Perimeter of a square. What's that formula? 4 times the side. Right there. All we need is the side. What's the side? Oh, side is 6. Plug it in. Done. And we're good. Yes, Alessa, exactly. Yeah, the shape will tell you the formula. For example, if I said perimeter of a rectangle, 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. If I said area of a square, side times side. If I said area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. Depending on the shape and what you're looking for, there's a formula specific to it. And so that's how I'm really setting you up to be able to read the information and translate it into the formula the right way. So with that, everybody feeling good? Any questions before we move to the next one? Angelica, let's get it. Let's have some fun here. Let me go ahead and take that off, and we are good. Okay, cool. All right, let's try this next one out, everybody. So before I show you the question, first things first, what are we going to do? First thing, when I look at the next problem, what are we going to do? RTQ. And what does that mean again? Read the question, not the whole problem, just the question sentence. Again, step number 1, what do you want? Then understand what you have, and then build your connection. What do you want? What do you have? What's the connection? Here we go. So everybody, oh, look at that. It's one sentence. What is the perimeter of a square that has a side length of 5 feet? Quick. What are we looking for? In one word, what are we looking for? One word, what are we looking for? It is like life, exactly. First, you got to understand, what do you want? What are you trying to do? What do I have to work with? Okay, let's make it happen, right? Thank you, everybody, for being diligent. Perimeter. Yes, the one thing that we want out of this problem is perimeter. It says, what is the perimeter? Remember, the question, the goal is always after the who, what, when, where, why, how many, which of the following. All of those are question action words. And so when you see here, what is the blank, whatever fills in the blank, that's what you're looking for. And just like I said last time, everybody, when you see that geometry word, perimeter or area, what is the next question you need to ask, everybody? What blank? What's the question you want to ask next? What blank? One word. What shape? Thank you, Indy. In any problem in general, if you see that you're looking for perimeter or looking for area, what's the shape? What's the shape? What am I dealing with? Because that's going to tell me that's the formula I want to use. So everyone, what's the shape here that we're dealing with? I don't know, Pi. Yeah, it's going to be square, and it's shown right here. So we want the perimeter of a square. That's our goal. So before we take down any information, let's regurgitate the formula. Everybody, please type the formula into the chat box. Let's do it. What's the formula for the perimeter of a square? You should have this written down in your notes. It is not length times width. I can tell you that right now. Like, visualize the square. We got 4 sides, and they're all the same. Side plus side plus side plus side. Or, since it's 4 sides and they're all the same, 4 sides. 4s. 4 times side. Perimeter equals 4 times the side length. And so with that said, everyone, with that said, my party people, in this case, well, what's the side? The side's 5, exactly. My side's right here. Side length of 5 feet. And so we'll plug it in and we're done. Perimeter equals 4 times the side, which is 5. 4 times 5 is what, everybody? 20. 20 what? 20 what? 20 feet. Yep. And we are good. And so in case you guys didn't know, these problems, the formatting might look different. And it's because these problems that we're going to do in today's class, these were all produced from my program that I built up. So what this means is every single class that we're going to be doing moving forward, unless something happens, every single problem that we do moving forward will be from the program because I'm building out new sets every single week for you. I want to try to release. So next week, we're doing percent tax and percent discount. My goal is going to be to have the speed drills for all the percent discount and tax problems done. So that way, right when you're done with Tuesday's class, the second class, you can dive right into the new course and you can have fun. So get ready for that. That's the goal. Every single week, I'm going to have a new set released. So here we go. Let's get into this next one here, everybody. I want you to tell me here, what are we looking for? What's the question? Go, go, go. Instantly, 5 seconds or less. Tell me, what are we looking for? What are we looking for? What do we want? 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 Come on, go, 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 go. I see a lot of y'all getting nervous and just throwing out different things, right? I see some people saying perimeter, some people saying area, some people saying side. Let's focus. Read the question sentence. Let's start there. What is the measure of one of its sides? So everyone, what are you looking for? Let's try it again. Are you sure? Are you sure? I see half and half, the correct and incorrect now. It's better than before. Not many people are saying area anymore. It's not area. So this is what I'm training. Okay, so I love this right now. Because again, don't be ashamed of making mistakes. First, don't be ashamed of making mistakes. We're here to learn. But let me show you why you're making the mistake. If you said perimeter or area, you are incorrect. Let me show you why. The correct answer is a side. We are looking for a side. Read with me. Again, not the whole question, not the whole problem. Just the question sentence. Whatever follows, Who, what, when, where, why, how many, which of the following? What? What is the measure of one of the sides? Right there. One of the sides. So what we want is one of the sides. Everyone, is that true? Even if you said area or perimeter before, do you see now that if we just focus on the sentence of the question, it says we're looking for one of the sides? Can we agree on that now? Good. Good, good, good. Now, let's go ahead here and take down the information here. It said measure of one of its sides. Everyone, just like I said earlier with area and perimeter, if you have a question that's talking about a shape and it said find the length of one of its sides, you need to find out what shape you're dealing with. You need to know. Everyone, let's find out. What shape are we dealing with in this problem? A square. Yes, that is correct. We see here that it says a square desk. So we need to find one of the sides of the square. Okay, so this is where things might get a little confusing for some people, because although the majority of us now, thankfully, now understand that, yeah, we're looking for the side of this square that we see, a lot of us might be like, well, how do we get there, right? How do we get there? What is that 116? Am I supposed to multiply that by 4? Am I supposed to go ahead and divide that? Am I supposed to square it? Am I supposed to do, like, what am I supposed to do? This is where you need to stay calm, cool, and collected. Keep the goal in mind. The goal in mind is, hey, we're looking for the side of the square, but number 2, let's see what information we have to work with that can give us the side of that square. So let's read together and let's see if we can pick up on some clues as to what this is about. A square desk measures 116 inches around its border. So a lot of us here might think that the most important piece of this is the 116. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. That is not the most important thing. Remember this, everybody. If you want to be successful at word problems, it is not about what the numbers are. It's about what the numbers mean. One more time. If you want to be successful with word problems, it's not about what the numbers are. It's about what they mean. So the 116 inches, what does that mean? Can anybody tell me what I should circle, underline, or highlight to understand what the 116 inches means? What should I circle? Border. Richie, yes, border. Everybody take a look. Take a look. Watch. Take a look. Take a look. 116 inches around its border. Everyone, if we're talking about a square, now that's a square. If we're talking about a square and we're talking about the distance around, what math idea did we talk about today that talks about the distance around a shape? The distance around, one word. Perimeter. Yeah, it's perimeter. It is perimeter. We said that, right? We took those notes down. If you forgot, let's just go ahead and go right up over here. Okay. Right there. The perimeter of a shape is the distance around the shape. We talked about this. We absolutely talked about this. And so that's how you know what formula you're dealing with. Booyah, right here. That 116 is the perimeter. And what that means is we are dealing with the formula for the perimeter. How do I know that? Well, it's because, one, I know that we have the perimeter and we're looking for the side. Guess what the formula for the perimeter of a square uses? The perimeter and the side. P equals 4 times the side. Now, this is the next part where some people will get tricked. And so here's another feature that I wanted to talk about the speed drills that I put up for those of you in the program. I have programmed at least 1 to 2 of the incorrect answers to be based off of common mistakes that you might make. Yes, I programmed the incorrect answers to be mistakes that you will make. And so, everyone, this 116, let me ask you right now, where are you going to plug that into? Are you going to plug it in for the P or the side? Where do you plug the 116 into? Oh, look at that. The majority of us are saying plug it into the formula. But yeah, but the thing is like, so who was that, Raymond? So Raymond, I want to touch on that really quick. So everybody, really quick, Raymond, one of my favorite students here, Raymond said, look, plug the 116 into the formula, divide by 4. You got that down, Raymond, and I'm proud of you. Now, for those of us that are not as refreshed on this, Raymond, when you say plug the 116, I want you to refine this, not for me, but for you and everybody else who's doing this. I want you to go ahead and say, plug the 116 into the perimeter. Be specific in that way, because I know a lot of us, one of the main issues that people have with formulas is, well, what do you plug into where? So let's be a little more detailed here, especially while we practice. That way we got that down. Let me know if that makes sense to you, Raymond, but for everybody else as well. The 116 was the perimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and plug 116 in right there. And our formula says, thanks, Raymond, appreciate you. So that's going to be 4 times side. So VV, no, that's not going to be 4 times 4. Not going to be 4 times 4. We have 116 equals 4 times the side. We don't know what the side is yet. We don't know. But what I do know, if I zoom in a little bit, what I do know is that I need to get that side by itself. I got to figure out what that is. And at this point in the problem, everybody, what we're doing is we're solving an equation. We're solving an equation. So notice, yeah, we're working backwards, exactly. So instead of multiplying by 4 to get the perimeter, we're going to divide by 4 to get the side. Look at this. We want to get the side by itself. Well, what's in the way? Multiplying by 4. If we want to solve an equation, quick little crash course, we want to do the opposite operation. Everyone, what's the opposite of multiplying by 4? Exactly, dividing by 4. And what we'll have here is we'll take 4 and divide that on both sides, because guess what? Over here on the right side, if you're multiplying by 4 and dividing by 4, that'll cancel out. That cancellation is what we want, because it's going to leave us with a side by itself. And then 116 divided by 4, we have to figure out what that is. So we can go ahead and do a little bit of long division here. And we'll say, hey, look, 4 goes into 11 twice, so minus 8. 11 minus 8, let me zoom in over here. That's going to be 3. And then we have the 6 being dropped down. 4 goes into 36. How many times, everybody? Boom, that's going to be 9, 29. That's a clean 36. Nice. And so it's going to be 29 inches, in this case, is going to be the side. We can zoom on out a little bit here, right there. And the answer is D, just like that. Yeah, you guys are on fire today, man. I'm looking at the chat box. You guys are, I have to keep looking down and up, and the camera, and focus on all 3 at the same time, because you guys are killing it today, man. How are we feeling about this one, guys? Like, this one was a working backwards problem. How are we feeling? And yeah, Angelica, exactly. So the other way to think about it is, if you're working forwards, 4 times the side, which is 29, which is what we found, it should equal the perimeter. It should equal that 116. And so if you check your work, 29 times 4, yeah, that's 116. Right on, man. Right on. So do you guys think that you're ready to try out this next problem timed? Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. So here we go. Let me get the timer up for y'all. Let's go and have some fun, man. Let's get this timer here. And I'm going to give you exactly 2 minutes to try this next one out. Let me get the timer up. 2 minutes. Perfect. Start off. And we're good. Okay. So everybody go ahead and try this one out. 2 minutes here for this next one. Angelica, if you can get it done in 30 seconds, let's see. Go. Let's see what we got. And so again, remember to read the question, point out what you're looking for first. Ignore the numbers. What are you looking for? Oh, hey, I saw your message here. So let me see. You messaged me privately, as in, did you text me or did you send a Zoom chat? I'm looking through all the Zoom chat messages. I see your excuse me there. Yeah, Edward, feel free to go ahead and copy and paste your message again if you want to text me directly. I can go and provide in the Zoom chat. If you want to text me what you had sent me directly in the Zoom chat again. Oh, I got you. Yeah. So we have this recording. It's going to be streamed on. It's being streamed on YouTube right now. Let me just double check if it's still actually live. So yeah, still going strong on YouTube. Perfect. And so for sure, Edward, if you need to, you can actually use that recording, and you can go as slow or as quickly as you need to. I got you. I'm doing my best to kind of meet everybody. Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I'm doing my best to meet everybody, but I do understand that sometimes we do need to slow down a little bit. I'm doing my best there, but thankfully we do have this recorded, so you're good. Yeah, this will absolutely be on the website. So we have 10 seconds left here. So go ahead if you have an answer. Give that answer if you have it. Go ahead. And so just want to give you guys some more updates. I didn't want to give you this all at once because it is a lot. But with the new arithmetic reasoning course that's going to be coming out, what we're going to be doing is the recordings to every class. Basically, they're going to be included in there as well above the speed drills. That way you can actually go in there and try the problems out that you're going to be seeing in the speed drills before you get into them. That way you know how to do them, what to do, what to expect. And that way it's not like you're just doing a speed drill without actually knowing what to do. So yeah, so these will be put into the new course, the recording, then the speed drills and the final exam, along with any worksheets, any other videos, any other like video solutions, you'll have that there. So let's get into it, my party people. This is a one sentence question, one sentence. My question is this: in one word, can you tell me what we're looking for? In one word, what are we looking for? Yeah, we're looking for the side. We're looking for the side because here, check it out. It says, hey, a square with a perimeter of 24 feet. So look, it tells you that the perimeter is 24 feet. We're not looking for the perimeter. It tells you what the perimeter is. So here, a square with a perimeter of 24 feet has a side length of what? So that's what we're looking for. The side length. So number one, what do we want? We want the side length. And then everybody, what's the shape again? Right, a square. The side length of a square right there. And so Vivi, I saw your private message. I'm going to share what you said with everybody. So Vivi said, hey, you should do speed drills, but not too fast, like for the PyCat, where you can take your time. That's actually the idea that we already have, and it's built into the project already. And that's going to be basically the final exam that mixes in all the topics. Once we have all of them said and done, yeah, we're going to have it's going to be an untimed practice test, because with the PyCat, you do get 48 hours after you start it. So yeah, there's going to be a speed drill. It's not even going to be a speed drill. It's just going to be a final exam, PyCat style. Yeah, and there's going to be a couple different versions of it. And there's going to be basically, so before I continue, sorry guys, I know because I'm talking to my program members here, because y'all are the ones that are really, I'm doing this for y'all. So basically, because some of us just want to pass, some of us want to get in the 50s, some of us want to get a 99. I'm actually going to create a few different versions of final exams that you could reset and retake questions with, but you're going to have one of them that's just for those who just want to pass. So it's going to be a bunch of fundamental problems that if you can do these, yeah, I can guarantee that you'll pass. Then there's going to be a set of questions that it's like, hey, if you can do these, I can guarantee you'll be in the 45 to 60 range. And then there's going to be a really tough one that says, hey, you can do these, you have no issues, you're good. And so there will be those three tiers. And I'm also working on a program that's going to automatically give you a feedback report with a complete, like, yo, You missed all the percent questions. Go to the program to do this, do this, do this. So there's a lot coming. We'll talk more about that in tomorrow's class. But here, back to the question. Number one here, what do we want? It's the side length of a square. What we're given is that square's perimeter. The moment, everybody, the moment that you see the shape and the math, the moment that you see that, think of the formula. Hit me in the chat box. What do we have? Perimeter, square, give me the formula. Four times the side. Perimeter. Thank you, Jonathan. The most specific one there. Everybody was being lazy. Jonathan's the only one that wrote perimeter equals 4 times the side. Thank you, Jonathan, for being diligent there. Yes. Perimeter, square, write that down. Perimeter of a square. We have P equals 4 times the side. Great. And so with that, well, everybody, we have a 24 here. What is that 24? Where does that go? Does that go to replace the P? Does that go to replace the side? Which one are we plugging that into? Jonathan's not a show off. He's just detailed. And that's what a lot of y'all need to aspire to be. So with that, yeah, that's perimeter. That is perimeter. It tells you right there. Perimeter is 24. So we'll go ahead and replace the perimeter with 24. Not the side with 24, with the perimeter. So I hope that this is giving you a little more clarity in terms of, wait, where do I plug that number into? Let the problem take you there. Let the problem take you there. So that 24 equals 4 times the side, everybody. Are we going to multiply or divide to get to the answer? Oh, sorry, I didn't even know that was you that said that, Seth. I just saw the statement and I was like, clap, clap. All right, so 24 equals 4 times the side. Yeah, we got to divide here to get that in. So we're going to divide both sides by 4 because that's going to get the side by itself. So once we do that, good riddance. And so 24 divided by 4 is 6. And so the side length equals 6. Boom. And we're good. Who got this one right? Hey, that's what's up. There we go. And even if you didn't get it right, do you understand how to get it right now? Do you understand why you were wrong? Remember, every problem is not about your ego. It's about your growth. What can I have done better? That's what's up, Pedro. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and go right into the next one here. Let's see. I'm going to give you a little less time with this one because I do want to get into this next set of problems. So I'm going to give you a minute and 20 here. A minute, 20 seconds for this next one. Go. Let's see if you can quickly identify what you need to find. Again, notice, I don't tell you if you got to work forward or backwards. You got to figure that out for yourself. Let's struggle. Let's struggle and let's get there. We got this, man. We got this. Don't share the answers, guys. Don't share any answers. You might be wrong. You might absolutely be wrong. Do not share the answers. Okay. And that is time. Answers. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. What do we have as our answers? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Let's see if we're correct. Let's see if we're right. So the thing is, again, remember, I programmed the incorrect answers in here as well to be common mistakes that you might have made. So if you were confused as to whether, okay, I saw perimeter, but do I multiply by 4 or divide by 4? I included both of those answers in there, the 3 and the 48, right? So let's understand the why. Here we go. Everybody, quickly, what is, in one word, What are we looking for? One word. What is the question telling us to find? One word. Side, right there. Right here, look. What is the side length? Side. What is the side? And then remember, everybody, when you're talking geometry, side, area, perimeter, surface area, volume, circumference, whenever you see any of those specific geometry words, immediately, what is the shape? And you see it right here. Thank you, right there, my party people, Angelica, Lewis, thank you. We are dealing with a square. And then we see over here more information, perimeter of 12. Booyah. You're looking for the side. You're dealing with a square. You have its perimeter. Immediately regurgitate the formula one more time in the chat box. What's the perimeter of a square? Go. $12 feet, exactly. And so you plug in what you have. Everybody, that 12, that's going to go in place of the perimeter. That 12 goes in the place of the perimeter. And so right here, 12 equals 4 times the side. And so everybody, are we working forwards or backwards in this one? Tell me. Are we working forward or backward? We're working backwards. We're working backwards to find the side. We're going back to find the side. So we're going to divide that 4 away to get rid of it. Let's get rid of that 4 here. Divide by 4 on both sides. Nice and easy. Booyah. That's gone. And so here, 12 divided by 4 is going to be what? 3. 3 equals side, which is going to be 3 feet. And that's going to be A, not D, not 48. It will be A. Yobani, is it feeling easier because I taught you or because you already knew it? Probably because you already knew it. But yeah, so right on. That's good to see. Good to see. So with that, up next, here's what we got. What we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and jump into now perimeter for rectangles. But again, we're going to have problems working forward, problems working backwards. We're going to see what's up. We're going to see what's up. So, Ferris, I'm glad you can just look at it in your head. Oh, yeah, really quick, since it is already 7:40. For those of you who are not in the program, because I saw a couple of you guys texting me here in the chat box. For those of you that are not in the program, I do want to make it very clear that, yes, Mondays, I do run a discount for those of you guys who are interested in it. I'm going to make this very brief. The program is so much more than just the classes. You get all the recordings to over 300 classes I've already done, plus all the extra courses for the math, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, general science, and you're going to get all of the ability to text me whenever you need help. And on top of that, all of the updates, like I've been talking about with this new course coming out, for free. All the practice tests are going to start coming out. All of that is included for free. So I know I said that very, very quickly, but if you're interested in that, I'm going to go ahead and shut the chat box down for a brief moment. I'm going to put the link and the discount code so we can get right back to teaching the class. So here we go. Here is the link right here. Let me just copy and paste this. Right there. Let me close down the chat and boom. So again, if you're interested in the program, there it is. So if you want to get rid of all that test anxiety and actually have a program that you can rely on and someone you can talk to whenever you need help, there it is. So you can use the code Monday right there, all caps at checkout. You're going to save a ton of money on it. And if you are already in the program and you want to upgrade to the full year, I'm actually offering a crazy discount starting my Black Friday sale early. If you want to upgrade, if you're already in, text me if you want to upgrade. I'll give you a massive, massive deal. So there it is. I'm going to go ahead and continue with the class, just taking 30 seconds to talk about that. And let me open the chat box back up. And again, if you're watching on YouTube and you're interested in the program, just look at the description of this live stream. You'll see the discount code and the link in there for you. So let's talk about rectangles and perimeter. So here we go. Let's get straight into it here, everybody. Can you do the same thing? Can you stay calm, cool, and collected and tell me in one word, what are we looking for? Yeah, for those of you, oh, sorry, I'm just gonna make this very quick here because I saw 4 of my students actually ask about that. Text me directly. Depending on how long you've been in the program, you can get up to $100 off the full year. So I'm basically discounting 2 months and a little more that you've already paid for to upgrade to the full year. So just text me if you want to do that. You're good. We'll take care of that tomorrow morning. So thank you, everybody. Yes, we are looking for width. Exactly. You guys are starting to get used to it. I like you guys now, man. Or I've been like you guys, but I'm liking the way that you're thinking now about this. You're not letting the random numbers get in the way. You're looking for the information you need right there. So here it says, if it is 3 feet long, how wide is it? Right here. There's the question right there. How wide is it? How wide is it? That's what you're looking for. And everybody, what did I say earlier? Whenever you are hit with a geometry word like length, width, side, area, perimeter, surface area, volume, circumference, what did I tell you the next question you need to ask is? What blank? What did I say? What did I say? Dominic, totally fine. Aquila, yes. What shape? Exactly. So step one is you want the width. But that's such a vague question. The width of what? The width of a papaya or the width of a semi-truck? What are you talking about, right? So here in this problem, what are we talking about, everybody? Lewis, Angelica, Victoria, you read my mind, right? Rectangle. We see it right here. A rectangular table. So we want the width of the rectangle. If it helps you out, draw it out. This is something I always like to do, especially when I was growing up doing math. It was like, whenever you're in doubt, man, draw it out. Draw it out, visualize it. It always, always, always helps. So you have this right there. Great. And so everybody, what do we know about this rectangle? Let's read through. We want the width of the rectangle. So I'm going to put a W right here. But what do we have? That's the better question, right? And so if you're looking at this, let's read through. The rectangular table measures 14 total feet along its sides. What does that mean? 14 total feet. I don't care about that. What does the 14 mean, everybody? Angelica, it gives us the perimeter. Gives us the perimeter. Okay. Gives us the perimeter if it's 3 feet long. And I think there may be an issue here. So this may be a little glitch that I'm going to work on. Okay. I think I see something I got to work on there. But let's just go ahead and see. So everybody, for a quick moment, for the rest of this problem, ignore the answer choices. Just in case I don't have the correct answer listed, I'll definitely fix that before the official release. So let me mark that off. So this is great for us. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, because I'm glad we can find these mistakes now because I'm going to release a perfect freaking set. So here, if it's 3 feet long and 14 feet total, the 14 feet, everybody, let me mark that for you right here. The 14 total feet along its sides, that tells you the perimeter. That tells you the perimeter. So the perimeter equals 14 feet. And so what does this 3 mean? Everybody, what does that 3 right there? What does that mean? What does that mean? Hey, if you knew it already, be proud. Be proud if you knew it already that there was a mistake, because that means that you're so good at this now that you can point out mistakes. And that's honestly the level you want to get to. So, hell yeah. But yeah, that 3 is the length, 3 feet long. So we can definitely write that down there. Nice and easy. 3 feet and 3 feet. So that everybody, look, there's 2 ways we can really do this. There's 2 ways. One way is like this. One way is you can say, hey, the perimeter being 14 feet, that's the same thing as saying 14 being equal to 3 plus 3 plus W plus W. And if you add that all up, everybody, if you add W plus W, what's that going to be? Right, that's going to be 2W. 2 W's added together is 2W. And then 3 feet plus 3 feet, what is that going to be? I mean, that's super straightforward, right? Yeah, it's going to be 6 feet. Nice and easy. So we got that going on. And so if you have 2 of those W's plus 6, that's going to give you 14. So this is one way to look at it. But an issue with this that some people might face is that, well, not a lot of people are really confident when it comes to solving equations, right? Not everybody's super confident with solving equations. But I'm going to show you how to solve this as an equation, but then I'm going to show you how to do it if you know the formula, if you know what perimeter is, you can still do this without looking at an equation. So allow me to do it like this first, and then I'll do it the second way, but just knowing your knowledge. So here, this is a two-step equation here. So what we're going to do is step one, we need to go ahead and get rid of that 6. Once we get rid of that 6, then we can get rid of the 2. Because you want to work the furthest from the variable to the closest. And so here, we'll subtract 6 on both sides. Nice and easy. Gets rid of that. 14 minus 6 is what, everybody? That's going to be 8. Correct. Nice and easy, right? But then the next step is getting rid of the 2. Remember that it's all about working backwards. If you notice over here, we met the plus 6 with minus 6 because that's the opposite of adding 6. Now here we want to get rid of that multiplication of 2, and that's why we'll divide by 2. Exactly. Yep. Y'all got it down today, man. Let's go. Yep. And then we divide by 2 to get rid of that. And once we do that, booyah, W equals 4. And that's why 4 would be the answer. It was not listed there. So this is a great thing for me. Obviously, I got to stay humble because I got to make sure I figure out why that little glitch happened, because that means it's affecting other problems. So I'm going to fix that by Thursday's release. And then that's why I'm not releasing it tomorrow. This is exactly why. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me on that. So the answer there is 4 feet. And we are good. Let's just say D, 4 feet. No, you're good, guys. You're good. You're good. You're good. That's on me. That's totally on me. I'm going to keep this in the recording because I want to make sure you guys get the practice. But yeah, this will definitely be fixed by Thursday. You're good. Everybody put in the work today. Exactly. So with that, let's go ahead and get into one here. Let's see. So here, yeah, I see what the problem was. Okay, I see the glitch. I know what it is. I basically programmed one little thing wrong. So with that, what we're going to do next is jump into this. Go. I'm only going to give you 2 minutes. Start right now. I'm not going to tell you what's going on. Just go ahead and get to it. Read it carefully, guys. Take it one step at a time. Exactly, Alessa. So you know exactly how to work backwards. So the forward steps would be twice, then add. So then the backward steps would be subtract and divide. Exactly. Exactly. Math works, right? Math works. Alessa, I don't know you very well, but you're showing promising results here in terms of the way you've handled this. If you keep this up, you'll be doing much better every day. Remember, it's not about yes or no. It's about the why. It's about the why. Final 10 seconds here. Let's check it. Let's check it. 3, 2, and 1. Chicken wang, chicken wang. What's the answer? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? If you got stuck or you don't know, say so. Say that you got stuck. Say you took a guess. It's all good. It's all good. Because I got to show you everybody again. Like I said, in the beginning of class, I told you geometry problems, you might think that they suck, but they are actually easier than the other word problems because, again, geometry, they are forced to give you the clues. They are forced to make the clues more obvious, okay? They can only say so much. They can't try to hide things that much. They have to give you the clues. So let's go ahead and understand what I mean by that. Let me reiterate the point. Here, we only have one sentence here, so we're going to have to read the question and the whole problem at the same time, whatever. But let's take it the same way we've always been taking it. Step one, everybody, in one word. What are we looking for? One word. What do we want? Right, side. That's one word. So boom, it says, what is the side? So that's what we want. Step one, What we want is the side. And what did I say, everybody? Whenever you look at a problem and it has you look for a side, a length, a width, an area, a perimeter, a surface area, a volume, a circumference, what is your next question? What blank? What shape exactly? What shape are we dealing with? A square. Perfect. So we're dealing with a square. This is again here. Boom, square. So we want the side of a square. And that's where we can imagine this. We can imagine this and say, hey, okay, I'm dealing with a square. Now, what does the rest of the problem say? There's a 16 here that we haven't addressed. What does it say? What is the side length of a square that has an area of 16 square feet? Everybody, recite the formula. What is it? It says area right here. So we saw area, we saw square, and we're looking for its side. We better know that formula, and you better not get lazy on me. Don't just say side squared or side times side. Give me area of a square equals side times side, or area of a square equals side squared. Either way. But include the A in there. Include the area. Because if you just say 4 times side or side squared or length times width, what's that the formula of? You got to know what it is so you know what to plug in. Yeah. So here, the area of a square. So the area equals 16 square feet, but the formula for the area is going to equal the side times the side. Everybody, where am I plugging in this 16 into? Is that 16 going to go into the A, the side? Where's it going into? Yeah, it's going in for the A. That's how you know what you're supposed to plug it into. It literally says area of 16 square feet. So area right here gets replaced with 16. Now, all you have to ask yourself, everyone, is this. All you have to ask yourself is, hey, what times itself gives you 16? What is that? Bingo. 4. Exactly. And so there you can be confident and say, yeah, 4 times 4, that's going to give you 16. That's my answer. That's the side length because it fits the bill. It fits the situation. And yeah, you could say that you want to take a square root, but when it comes, mathematically speaking, there's no exact formula to do a square root. It's literally just working backwards and knowing your squares. Like 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16. 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, blah, blah, blah. You got to know your times tables for that. But yeah, great job, my party people. Because guess what? When we come in tomorrow, we're going to be going ahead and covering everything else, and everything you see here. We're going to be going into all of these and doing all of these problems, and all of them. These are the types of problems that we are going to expect to do at the end of it all. Like a rectangular picture frame measures 30 total inches along its sides. If it's 8 inches long, what's its area? So these are the type of questions that we're going to be getting into. And I can guarantee you that if you know how to do these geometry area perimeter problems, cake. You'll be good. You're guaranteed to be good on the test, especially if you can pass my speed drills and those final exams that I'm going to be setting up. So with that said, my party people, with that said, how was it for you? How was today's class for you? Jerome, what's up? Everybody, hold on one second, everybody. If you have a mic, go ahead and give me a quick and big yer for Jerome, who looks like who passed. Hit him.
Congrats, Jerome.
And the 87. Let's go. And muting everybody. Okay, great. So, Jerome, you verified an 87? Let's go. Jerome, you know what I'm going to say, man. Text me. 87, that looks pretty dang good to me. That's text me. I want to know everything about how you studied, how you used the program. I want to make sure I can continue evolving and helping people out. Please text me. I also want to get you on my ASVAB Hall of Fame, so I'm going to have you get a review. But more importantly, I want to know how you studied. And I'm going to look into your account to see what you did, because I want to go ahead and continue evolving. Like I said, man, great job. Great hell of a job, man. So with that said, congratulations to Jerome, first of all. Number two, let's go ahead and just wrap things up here. It is 7:58. So here's the thing. when we come in for tomorrow's class, we are going to be going ahead and reviewing what we've done. Then we're going to continue on to doing the area problems that we didn't get the chance to do. And then we're going to do those challenge questions, mixing in going from perimeter to area and area to perimeter. That's going to be tomorrow's 2-hour class. And then again, like I said, on Thursday, for those of you in the program, you can join tomorrow and you'll get for free the brand new course that's coming out. It's going to be a beta version of it on Thursday. Again, there are going to be little things I'm going to be working on here and there. But what I'm guaranteeing is this. Every single week, after we're done with the class, we will have the brand new set of speed drills for word problems of that topic uploaded into that course by that Thursday. That way you can have the class, then watch the recordings, do what you already have in the math boot camp, because you already know you have tons of word problems already in the boot camp. You have tons of guided practice on recordings. Now I'm just giving you speed drills and unlimited practice. So all of this is going to come full circle to guarantee that you pass the ASVAB. So again, if you are in the program, you are all good. You can see yourself out. I will see you tomorrow if you already are in the program. For those of you who are not in the program, who are asking about it, I got your back. I'm going to go ahead and just go through in a little more detail what the program actually is and why so many of my students, like Jerome, are passing in the way that they are. Because in 87, you don't get that by luck. That's seriously putting in the work, putting in the time. And all we do with the program is we literally lay it out in front of you. So it's like you don't have to, if you're thinking about this in terms of like a sport like baseball, it's so much easier when you can just go to the range and you can just go ahead and just start swinging on balls because someone is setting the ball up for you. Someone tells you what the best bat to use is, gives you cleats, gives you everything you need, as opposed to you every single day having to pick everything up. You got to go swing and get your own balls. We pretty much line it up for you. That's what makes it special. So again, for those of you already in the program, I'll see you in tomorrow's class at 6 p.m. For those of you who are not in the program, this is how you can get into tomorrow's class at 6 p.m. So very briefly here, I want to make sure I respect your time. First of all, if you are interested in the program, I got to make sure that you know if it's for you or not. So a few questions here. So honestly, everyone in here who's still in here, do you feel like test anxiety stops you from doing your best? And by that, what I mean is, well, if you know what test anxiety is, but if you don't, if you feel like just the very idea of being timed or sitting in a room where your recruiter's with you, like watching over you, just the very act of being watched doing something makes it so that you just forget what you're doing. It makes you nervous. That's test anxiety. So I see a lot of y'all revealing that you do suffer from it. It's okay. Number 2, do you blank out on word problems? Like, do you oftentimes sit down and when you're doing a word problem, it's like you have to read it 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and you still don't know, like, what the heck is going on? You understand the words, but it just seems like gibberish. That's another big symptom of you might need help. Number 3, do you hate guessing and hoping for the best? And what I mean by this is, on the test, do you often find yourself in a situation where you have like 10 questions left, but only like 2 minutes? And then you're forced to take a guess. You're forced to just Christmas tree the rest of it. Obviously, you don't get the results you want that way. If that's part of your life, if that's been happening, the program's going to help you out with that. And lastly, if you feel like it's up to you and you're pissed off that no one really told you exactly what you need to study, how you need to study it, and you feel alone through it, then again, that's what the program helps solve. So on a more positive note, if you join this class today, you stay to the majority of it, and you feel like the session really did improve your chances of passing, if you were able to pick up on a lot of these things, even if it wasn't in the beginning, but in the middle and the end, and yeah, like I would love to have you in more classes because it's going to be just like this and better for all of the other topics. And on top of that, if you believe that more of this could work for you and you want someone to have your back until you pass, well, then pay attention. So Vivi, appreciate it. And so with that, everybody, you can get the ASVAB score you want. I have literally hundreds upon hundreds of students on my AST ASVAB Hall of Fame, Google reviews, Facebook reviews. It's everywhere, man. And I'm proud of every single one of my students because they've always shown, like, you don't have to be special to get a great score. You just have to be willing to sit down and put in the work. And that's what we do. We line it up for you so you can put in effort and nothing more. And so here's how the program works, everybody. Let me take this timer out of the way so I can explain it and show you at the same time. But essentially, it's this. The program pretty much helps you watch, practice, and master. You'll be able to watch me in fun live classes like this, and you'll also be able to watch the recordings 24/7. You get to practice with over 10,000 practice problems, and after this new project is done, it's literally going to be over 1 million problems that you'll have. So essentially, you'll be able to practice and build confidence, making the mistakes here so you don't make them on the test, which is exactly what we want. And lastly, you'll have the support that you need all the way until you pass. Because not only are you getting all these courses, practice tests, guided practice videos, worksheets, speed drills. Yeah, I could list the features all day, but it's about what those features help you achieve. Confidence and basically being able to take that test knowing that you're going to pass. And all along the way, every single step, I'll be with you. You can text me if you need help. If it's a problem from my website or a Kaplan book, I don't care. If you have a question that you need answered, I'm your resource for it Monday through Friday. You can text me and I got your back. So pretty much again, watch, practice, master, and there you go. And there's your ASVAB score. So here's how to sign up if you're interested. And I really do implore you to go ahead and sign up because it's really going to be the difference between getting the job you want sooner versus delaying your enlistment by 1 month, by 1 month, by 6 months, and then ultimately deciding that the military isn't for me just because you couldn't pass the ASVAB. It really is that big of a difference. So what you're going to do to sign up is super easy. Number one, go to the link that I'm going to put in the chat box right here. You just have to go to that link, then click sign up and raise your score, and then decide, do you want the monthly or the yearly plan? In either case, use the code Monday at checkout right over here, and that's going to give you a huge discount on the monthly subscription and the year version. For the monthly, you'll take $8 off every single month. For the yearly, you can take $50 off. And basically, if you didn't know, other tutors are charging $200 a month right now. With me, you can pay less than $200 and get the full year of my program. That's over 144 classes in 1 year for less than $200, plus everything else that you get in the program on top of that. And all updates and future courses are all free if you're already in. And there it is. So sign up now, get started, we'll raise our scores, and then we'll join in tomorrow's class where we'll continue again building that confidence. So there's that again. I appreciate Vivi. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and put the link right there in the chat box again, everybody. So all you have to do is, again, just click that link, click sign up and raise your score. Just make sure to use that code Monday at checkout. Click redeem so you can really get that deal. But seriously, if you have any questions at all, I'm going to stay here for the next 5 minutes. Ask any questions that you need to in the Zoom chat. You can message me privately if you need to as well. Totally fine. The main questions that I typically get are this. Is the subscription a contract? Do I have to stay for a certain amount of time? No contract. I don't do contracts. That sucks. I hate contracts. It's really just going to be use it for as long as you need it, cancel whenever. It's just like Netflix or Hulu. All you have to do is cancel before the bill date and you won't renew. That's it. That is it. The yearly is not going to be it's not going to be a renewal. You just pay once and that is it. Pay once and that is it. Sometime around Black Friday / Christmas time, I will be releasing a lifetime membership for those of you who are trying to pass now and get promoted later. If you are interested in a lifetime version of it, where you pay once and you get it for life, you must have the year version to get the upgrade. Because anybody who has the year already and wants to get the lifetime when that gets released, that will only be a $50 difference for those of you who already have the year. That was my promise I made a few months ago. I'm going to stick to that promise. And again, for those of you who want to get a lifetime membership, it will only be an extra $50 on top of the year. But again, you have to have the year to get that done. Other questions that I see. Do you cover the English? Yeah, for sure. Every Wednesday, we cover English with our coach, Coach Sheena. She does English every Wednesday. She switches off between word knowledge and paragraph comprehension. And the courses that you'll get will have over 500 word knowledge questions, and they're formatted like the test. And for paragraph comprehension, we have over 200 passages and questions for those as well. Larry, let me go and double check on your question here too. Let me see. Oh, you mean Larry, in terms of like, what do you do in terms of the until the lifetime gets released? You're good. If you already have the year, Larry, you're good. When I release the year, I'll notify everybody, and then you'll only be paying a $50 difference. Yeah, it's only 50. That's my promise. Again, for those of you who have supported us for all this time, yeah, man, I'm going to make it as cheap as possible for you. Great question. Magnolia had a great question here as well, everybody. Magnolia asked, hey, should a person also focus on learning their multiplication facts while studying for the arithmetic reasoning, math knowledge, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension if they don't know their multiplication facts? Yes. And you also have a way to practice that in the program. For the math section, because you already have a course that's already there. And again, it has over 300 activities. Everything from the basics to handling order of operations, multiplication tables, division, addition, subtraction, negative numbers, fractions, percents, decimals, all of your basics are right there at the beginning with a ton of things to do. Recorded lessons, guided practice, speed drills, worksheets, flashcards, all of it's lined up for you. Yep, the mental math. Yeah, I mean, I see that that's the majority of my students. They stay there for the first 4 days of the program typically, and that's what I recommend because it's gonna make word problems so much easier if you know how to handle all of those weird, funky numbers. Let me see here. Oh, Larry, what are you doing in the meantime when you renew your membership? Yeah, I mean, just keep sticking to the free stuff until you're ready to pay again. And then when you pay again, you'll have access to everything all over again. You're good. I got you there. So Declan, just real quick, are you going to cover the other ASVAB sections at any point, or are you sticking only with math and word knowledge? So right now, as of right now, my main focus is perfecting what we have now. And then once we have that perfected, oh, hell yeah, we're getting into mechanical comprehension, electronics, and all that. But right now, I need to make sure that I can certify 100% guarantee to you and your recruiters, because I'm actually trying to partner with the U.S. military nationwide. But essentially, I need to be able to guarantee that someone will pass like 100%. If you go 1 through 10, you will pass. I'm guaranteeing that right now with all of these updates. Once that's all done, we'll move into the other subjects because we'll have the entire methodology scripted and we'll be able to copy it over. Oh, also, by the way, yes, you can use the program on your phone, on my app. Once you get the program and you sign up, you can download my app online or on your iPhone or Droid, and you're good to go. You just log in with your same information, and you'll have access to everything you need. Yeah, so those are some great questions, everybody. Any other questions here? Oh, I got another. Oops, almost missed one. When does this coupon expire? Tonight. It's only for Monday classes. This coupon is only for Mondays. Okay, perfect there. Sweet. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Like any questions at all? These are great questions. So any other questions at all, man, feel free to shoot me a text. My phone number is, let me write this over here. Text coach. Actually, I think I keep forgetting I have this. Yeah, so if you have any questions here, you can feel free to shoot me a text. So there's the program information as well. You can feel free to shoot me a text. My number is 567-698-8867. It is literally right there. I'm also going to write it down over here because that looks a little ugly. I am going to change that later on. My phone number is 567-698-8867. If you didn't know, my phone number literally translates to 567 my tutor. I got this phone number like 10 years ago when I started my business. So yeah. Yeah, Vivi. So great question. So Vivi's question is, hey, coach, a cool thing to do in the app is to be able to download the videos if we were traveling or something like a Netflix download. It'll be cool. Guess what, Vivi? It's on the way. It's on the way. We actually just got the feature approved for the website. So you'll be able to do it on the website and through the app as well. But it's going to be mainly through the app because obviously you can use that offline. But we are working on that. Yeah. It got approved. So give me until latest December to give you an update on that because right now we're working on these things. But it should be literally as easy as a switch of a button. And then you'll be able to download them with the next update of the app. So Annalisa, I actually have it set to stop at 3 a.m. Eastern. So you're good. So it'll be midnight Pacific. The only people that get the short end of the stick is going to be my Hawaiian folks because my people in Hawaii, it's going to be technically 9 p.m. for them when it expires. So if you're in Hawaii, you have until 9 p.m. California, midnight. Dominic, yeah, I'm sure I got your text. I'm still helping people out right here. I would need to find you here. I see it. Yeah, I see your text, Dominic. You're good there. Then Lewis, I have him there. So I'll get to both of y'all before I get off tonight. All right, so my folks on YouTube, I am going to end this now. You guys are awesome, man. You guys have a great night. Feel free to rewatch the stream as much as you need to. If you have any questions, again, my phone number is 567-698-8867. Feel free to text me if you're on YouTube or on Zoom. Let me go ahead and end the YouTube stream. You guys are awesome. Remember, sign up for the programs. You can join us in tomorrow's class if you'd like. See you guys. It's the ASVAB. And for my folks on Zoom,